Hey, 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 and welcome to another episode of RevivalFlix, where we try to find some old or classic or interesting films that maybe they were missed or that we maybe want to rediscover them with today's perspective. Since today's productions, we don't have like the volume of high quality films is not as high as it was in the past. At least that's my sense about it. If if anyone cares, like to disagree, please list a few of awesome movies that were recently um, launched, so we can also know about. Sometimes maybe they're like I don't know, maybe low production movie, low budget movies that maybe didn't didn't get a chance. But I feel that older movies, they were, I think the impact, it was higher, as they were coming out and so on. Anyway, on today's review, actually, it's not an old movie, so I would put this in a category, maybe a weird ones or something like that. I'm still thinking about the category that I'm gonna create for it, since it's not a classic or an old. But in this channel, I do value uh, like maybe unique movies or maybe weird movies or even horror films. I'm such a fan, and I know that it's a niche that it's not so explored. But anyway, this one is called Heretic. So it was suggested by my stepfather. He's a great movie fan also. He does watch he does watch much more movies and series than I do. He has more time now. But anyway, Heretic. So this was from 2024. I didn't even hear about it, but since he was giving like his vouch to it, so I thought, okay, so maybe this is gonna be maybe interesting. Let's see, let's give it a chance. So up front, I'm gonna say it was worth it. I'm gonna go into the details, and especially for who might be interested in this one. But let's go over the details first. So as I mentioned, 2024, and also if you already seen a bunch of other episodes in my channel, you'll know that my main source for getting around, the movies and so on, is IMDb, which is it's a website. Um, Basically focus on films, but the cool thing about it is that we can go through the filmography, from the directors, the actors, and so on. And one of the strategies that I adopt is kind of like going through, for example, if a director has like a very successful film, I like to go and see how what were the movies that he done like up until he did that big, successful film, especially if it's like a high budget and so on. It means that maybe some the studios noticed some talent and maybe gave him a chance and so on. So I like to see, and sometimes those movies that were right before like a big like a big success movie, they're good, and they weren't like, so they were kind of like missed. So that's what I like to what I like to do most of the times. And of course, kind of like discover, missed movie. That's the best. I would say that's the best feeling when you discover something that it didn't blow up. Didn't wasn't a huge success, and maybe you can like spread the word and so on. This is the best feeling in my opinion. But anyway, back to our movie. So in IMDb, it had a rating of 7. And I consider this a very high rating, especially for IMDb. I gave it even I mean, my rating was 7, but because we cannot, like give uh, like decimals there and so on, I would give this maybe a 7.5. But anyway, I like the movie overall. Um, and the budget also caught my attention. It was a $10 million budget, but it generated a 60 million budget. I mean, 60 million revenue worldwide. So I would say it was a very successful movie. So up front, we already can notice Hugh Grant as the main actor. in the film, so probably most of the budget went to him. But it's not the kind of film that he would do. So that already also caught my attention when my stepfather suggested it. So I thought, oh, okay, so he said, oh, it's a very good thriller and so on. So I thought, okay, so a thriller, maybe a horror, and Hugh Grant playing it. So I said, yeah, okay, let's give it a shot and let's see what's it about. So Hugh Grant, I think no presentation needed, right? So no, then we have like two other actresses that also played big parts in the film. One is Sophie Thatcher, and the other one is Chloe East. I wasn't familiar with none of those. Actually, Sophie Thatcher, I was more familiar with her work. I mean, not I didn't remember, and I mean, okay, again, I went through her filmography and the movies that she had done and so on. Um, couldn't find so many movies that I watched, except for the Book of Boba Fett, which is a Disney series, right? And I mean, I don't remember her from that series, but I really liked her in this movie, and probably will watch a few of her movies from the filmography for sure. So she played in Boogeyman. I didn't watch that, but I heard great things about it. And Boogeyman is actually from the same director as Heretic. So it seems that both of these directors, Scott Beck and Bryan Woods, they do a lot of partnerships, and Boogeyman was one of them. So yeah, I'm probably it could be the next in my list in this genre. Let's see. And but curious fact here is that she played in a TV series about The Exorcist. I didn't even know that that was out, or it existed even. And the rating in IMDb, it's actually surprising, 7.9. So I'm probably gonna give that also a shot. And it seems that she played like the young Reagan. I'm not sure if anyone, if everyone is familiar with the film, the original one, The Exorcist. Very very good. It was one of the first horror films that I watched, and it really like creeped me. So yeah, it was kind of like even even like prohibited, like for children, to watch and so on, because they wouldn't sleep alone anymore and so on. But anyway, yeah, so she did a couple of films that I'm probably gonna watch, and I watched one of the series that she participated in, the Book of Boba Fett. I don't remember her in that, but I really liked her in this film. So uh, it's worth, in my opinion, it's worth watching other films that maybe she played a bigger role in it. Chloe West, I liked her in this film. I didn't love, but I liked it. And she also wasn't familiar with most of the films that she'd done, except for one, which was really, really good, The Fablemans. For anyone that doesn't know, so The Fablemans is the Spielberg film. It's actually about his trajectory. It's about him, but he, he changed things a bit and called it The Fablemans. Like not to be so direct, but it's a very very good movie. It wasn't such a hit. I wonder why actually, but it was a very very good movie. I enjoyed that a lot. I don't remember her what part she played in that film, but overall, if you didn't watch The Fablemans, I hardly would imagine I would do like a review about it. I mean, I am like one of the biggest fans from Spielberg. Maybe I'll do maybe some old stuff from him. I probably watched everything already, but anyway, I really don't remember her on this film. If anyone it's if anyone actually knows her on other films and would like like maybe to leave a comment about a film that it's worth watching with her, I'd be glad to do it. But other than that, I'm gonna browse through, and see if anything catches my eye. Now, the directors. As I mentioned before, Scott Beck and Bryan Woods. I wasn't familiar with their uh, with their work. But this since I liked this movie, for sure I'm gonna watch a few other films that they did together, and they do a lot of partnerships. So three that caught my attention: A Quiet Place, 2020, 7.2; Haunt, 2019. I don't remember what was the rating IMDb, and then 65. Uh, I'm probably gonna watch one of those, maybe A Quiet Place. I'll start with that one first. Let's see. And the Boogeyman, it seemed that it was kind of like a hit from them. So maybe I'll watch the Boogeyman since it was such a hit, and one of the lesser known ones, right? Because as I said, I like to get familiar with their work before they blew in the scene and so on. So yes, let's go on with the review about the movie itself. Well, as I mentioned, also it's a thriller. It's a thriller, almost a horror movie, right? So the first thing that I liked about it, it was the atmosphere that it created. It did a very well job on creating the atmosphere, and most of the movie it happens in one location only, right? I'm not gonna say what it is and so on. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but it did a very good job. Kind of like suffocating at sometimes. So yeah. So generally, I liked it a lot, and especially like with the acting, especially actually from Sophie Thatcher. I mean, Hugh Grant was great, but it wasn't like I wouldn't say it was like his best work, let's say it like that. But I really liked how Sophie Thatcher she played, like in the throughout, how she changed even, her style throughout the film. I enjoyed that a lot. Hugh Grant, he was kind of sharp, but he's such an experienced actor. I mean, I would say that he was also great, but it wasn't like something that I would say, oh man, he was amazing, and this is totally different from what he'd done, whatever and whatever and whatever. I wouldn't take it there, but I would admit that he was very sharp throughout the film, I would say. Anyway, what I really enjoyed about this film is actually a kind of like a personal connection that he had with me. So the main focus on this film is kind of like debating, religion in a way, like questioning and so on. I'm not gonna say which side each of the actors are on. If anyone is interested, just watch the film and so on. It's not gonna be a waste. But I did like this debate, like kind of like define, what I don't know what's your belief and so on, and playing kind of like it's kind of like a thriller, but it's like I was reading, like some reviews about it, and there was one term that I thought it fit the best. It's kind of like a debate thriller. It has like dialogue traps and so on. I thought that was an interesting view about the film. So I would also agree highly with this take. But anyway, what I really enjoyed is like so in my personal perspective. So I throughout throughout my life, I became an atheist, but recently I actually kind of like changed a bit, and now I'm kind of like agnostic. So this film, it actually it starts like questioning religion, you know, and it does in a way that I felt that it was very similar to what an old documentary that I watched, and it was at the time that I was also questioning religion, and it was like the moment when I became an atheist, which was Zeitgeist. If you you've been in YouTube, since the beginning, you probably you probably stumbled upon this documentary. I mean, this documentary is not fully about the message that it conveys. It does try to like persuade you to become an atheist, But I mean, with any documentary, I think no documentary is kind of like neutral. Any documentary tries to persuade you into something, into their view or whatever, right? Um, but I thought that it was so well constructed, and it was like a totally independent movement. It was like one person, like the real concept of YouTube. You do your stuff. You do your production and so on. So a lot of respect that I have for him, Joseph something. I don't remember off the top of my head now, but he became really enthusiastic about this Zeitgeist movement. But he began with that documentary, which I think he came from like the ads world. And anyway, it was kind of like his cartoons, about religion and so on. But he made this documentary, which he probably studied a lot to make it, and he connected a lot of points, a lot of common points between religion, and that I think it was like the main, I would say the main aspect of it, that it drew me in. It said, oh, okay, oh, I see what's going on, and I see what you know people try to do, or institutions try to do, or organizations try to do, or churches try to do, or anything that has power, tries to do. So it was really amazing. This documentary was really amazing. But why am I spending so much time talking about this documentary? Because the film, in the middle of the film, when all the real heavy dialogue starts happening and so on, it reminded so much about this documentary, and the points that it used, like to build all the conflicts between, like the characters and so on. I think it has really like a direct connection with it. I also, as usual, I ask you guys, like, watch the movie. If you watched already, Zeitgeist, you can comment if I'm being off about this perception and so on. If not, it would be interesting if you didn't watch Zeitgeist and you're into horror movies or Hugh Grant and so on, or thrillers and so on. Watch this movie, and then afterwards it would be even funnier. Watch this movie, and then afterwards watch Zeitgeist, and then tell me about it. Tell me what you thought. Tell me if there's kind of like connections between them and so on. I would love to see a reaction of a person that didn't watch, don't know, doesn't know anything about what this documentary is about, Zeitgeist and so on, and then watches this movie and then watches Zeitgeist. That would be really so fun if you if you even have like time to record a video about it. Man, I would for sure do another video here, like putting the reactions from people and so on into it. It would be really a real collaborative experience. But yeah, so let's go on with it. So, just less detail about Zeitgeist. So this documentary has over 2 million views, and probably it's not the original version. It's like the revamped version. I think it's from 2007 or so on. But I think it's even earlier. I think this documentary was done even earlier, and then only later on it was made available in YouTube. When I first watched it, maybe it wasn't even in YouTube. I think it was like in a downloaded video. Like a real independent downloaded video that went viral. It was really something like that. I'm going to dig in at some point, confirm all this information that I'm speaking about. But I'm almost certain that it wasn't even in YouTube. It was maybe 2005, 2004, or something like that. But anyway, I felt this connection really tight with this documentary. He used a lot of its arguments, like to build, the conflicts and so on, and then it added uh, um, a layer, and then I think it went to a horror, to kind of like to tap into the metaphysics and supernatural and so on, but with a twist in it. I really have to be careful with my words, not so I won't give like so much away and so on. But it was smart. It was well done. It was well done. It was well constructed. the whole atmosphere, plus the debates, plus the arguments, and plus this twist that they did with this supernatural. So if you enjoy these themes, for sure I would recommend you watching it. And if please, if you have time, to do something like experimental and so on, and participate, like in a collaborative work, uh, watch Zeitgeist, record, what your thoughts about the connections between the two and so on. Send it over, and yeah, let's build things together. And of course, not forgetting about what's the purpose of this channel. This channel, the purpose is like to stimulate people, like to create their own channels, and also participate in debating, or even like even like disagreeing totally with my take on it. That's even more fun, because then it opens up, like channels, for discussions. And whoever loves movies as I do, we can chat like tons of times here about movies. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope some of you will go on and create channels. Leave the channel that you create, in the comment section, so other people will know about your work. And yeah, and let's have fun while doing it. See you the next time. Later.